We're recording. So thanks again for your presence this afternoon. So much of our lives revolve around doing, achieving, fixing, striving. And even when we sit down to meditate, there can be this quiet voice wondering, am I doing this right? Or what's the goal of this? And our mindfulness practice, it invites us to explore a different way of being, one that's less about effort and more so about allowing. Even with this in mind, it can feel deeply uncomfortable, perhaps even like threatening in a way, because we've been conditioned to equate stillness or rest with laziness, right? With not doing enough, and non-doing with failure. And so, it's important to recognize the paradox in this practice, the invitation of doing non-doing. Um, And some insights I'd like to share as we start to explore this in our practice together. Um, Jon Kabat-Zinn, who's the founder of the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction um, program, he had said in wherever you go, there you are, that we can't force mindfulness to happen any more than you can force a flower to bloom, right? It unfolds when the conditions are right. And similarly, Alan Watts, who was a frequent speaker in the Zen tradition, spoke of a goal like this around non-doing is best to leave alone, kind of like clearing muddy water in a way. Um, and our what we know from neuroscience research is that the default mode network within the brain, which is often active during mind wandering or like self-referential thinking, can calm and organize during our mindfulness practice. And during other activities that embrace the notion of non-doing and non-efforting. And so it's all to say that when we stop trying to fix or control or corral ourselves, our circumstances, the mind and body can often return to balance on their own without our direct intervention. So as we settle into our practice in a moment, perhaps we see what it's like to work with letting go of control in a way of how things will unfold, of our expectations in non-doing. Okay, so as we do, taking a moment to find a posture that you find to be most supportive to your practice. One that allows a level of alertness, but also ease within the physical body. And reminding yourself as you land in your body that there's nothing to fix or change here. Sitting or standing, feeling your body breathe. And if you haven't already, you might consider allowing your eyes to come to a close or softening your gaze down at one point as a means of shifting your attention to your inner experience. Notice sensations in the body, perhaps where your feet meet the floor or the cushion beneath you, and invite your attention to climb upward, perhaps noticing the texture of the clothes against your skin, the weightedness of the body. You might also rest your attention with the sensations of breath, not controlling it in any way, letting your breath just be as it is. You might notice where you feel it most prominently, and you might notice perhaps the need to fix or improve. Notice that tendency to cling on to any control, whether in body or in terms of thoughts that come and go. Noticing if there's a part of you that's trying to make your practice or something else right in a way. And allow that to be a part of this experience too. You don't have to choose or reject any part of your experience. No intervention from you is needed right now. In the same way that breath breathes itself in and out without your controlling it. And in the same way, rivers flow. As you find yourself disconnected or pulled into any storyline, you might guide your attention gently back to some place in the body where there's little to no effort. You might even ask yourself, what does it feel like in this body of mine when I'm non doing? Allowing yourself to rest in awareness itself, not doing anything, not solving or analyzing yourself. Being the knowing of whatever arises moment to moment. And as the mind gets lost in thought, which it will, you notice that. And when you do, return your attention to your anchor of choice. Notice if you're holding on tightly or pushing away your experience right now. Notice how you might soften your grip on things. Noticing any tension and gripping on, whether that's someplace in the body where there might be more readily letting go, or a particular tension in the mind. If just a wee bit, how might you soften around that? Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is yours alone to sing falls into your open hands and you recognize and greet it. That's from Clearing by Martha Postlethwaite. As we bring our practice to a close, you might invite fuller breaths. If you had been still during our practice, you might bring little bits of movement back into your body that are calling out for your attention. Perhaps that's wiggling the toes or gently shaking your head over to one side and then the other. If you had your eyes closed, when you feel ready to, you'll blink them back open and reacquaint yourself with your surroundings. So whether we do have a few minutes for any reflection and inquiry. So whether you share your reflections with us, or perhaps um, this could be a journaling prompt around what we notice when we stop trying to do, applying effort and finding the balance of that. What happens when we give ourselves permission to simply be?
Thank you so much. I really appreciated the reminder about our body's ability to self-correct and kind of find realignment without any effort at all. And I've definitely found that true in my practice. But it's a good reminder that our body has that wisdom and that ability. Sometimes we just need to stop.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for that. It is an important reminder, right? Because we live in a culture that's very much values like cerebral thought processing, that the body's wisdom can be dismissed or denigrated in a way.
Yeah.
And here we are busy and doing and not really always listening and being with ourselves in a way that we can rely on the body's intelligence.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you so much for this practice. It felt really timely because I was kind of grappling with letting go of some stuff and just kind of letting things kind of happen earlier this morning. And one thing that was like really similar to what Lisa was just saying. Um, so right now I'm pregnant, and so I also have a 3-year-old, and so I don't really have a lot of time, or I don't. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time to like really connect as much with my body and the pregnancy, and I feel the baby moving all the time, but just kind of, I'm doing whatever I'm doing in the day. And so it was nice to kind of like tune into that more and like feel like, allow for some connection, which, is feels rare, rarer than my first pregnancy. So um it was cool. Like it was like that experience of like kind of connecting a little bit more with my body and my baby, and then also like hearing the rain. It just was like kind of a nice
Mm.
background support and very calming. So it was just like a nice way to kind of settle into the present. So I appreciate the practice and the messaging too. I wrote down the name of the poem, but can you remind me? It's Martha. Who is the person who?
I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And congratulations,
Thank you.
Anne Marie. Um, something just hearing you share, it's like um yeah, we can be pulled in a lot of different directions, playing a lot of roles in our lives. And the first one to kind of put on the back burner can sometimes be ourselves. And while we dedicated time to be here, every moment presents an opportunity for us to reconnect, if just for a moment, amidst all the busyness. Because yeah, life does kind of continue on. So there we are with this paradox again. Yeah. Anything else as we bring our gathering to a close?
I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Kathy, and this is the first time that I've had an opportunity to get here on time. I take care of my 92-year-old blind mother with dementia in my home. So the switch from my first picture, which was out on the back porch, um, to this picture, which is in my back bedroom, because somebody is actually watching her so that I could get this time. And it took a little longer for me to settle in because of the
Mm.
transitions that were going on. But knowing that this group is here and that my goal is to set an alarm at 11:30 on Wednesday mornings now so that I can catch it from the beginning and be able to participate and practice the practice. I'm going to try to do it again. And I wanted to ask for the name of that verse or whether you will put it in something that we can all read over and over and over
Yes.
again because it struck
Yeah.
so, so, so personally.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kathy, for introducing yourself and being with us this afternoon. What a gift that you've given yourself. So it's so wonderful to hear. I'm sharing the name of the reading in our chat here. And we can also share, there's all of the resources are on our website under the mindfulness for a moment tab as well. Um, and I know we're getting short on time. I do want to share that in addition to this weekly offering,